The topic of COVID-19 is in the moment the most important issue for the state of Texas. We are still in a pandemic and people are moving on as if nothing is happening, and if we don't stay cautious, it may get worse. Being the daughter of the director of the COVID-19 unit, of course, hearing all the tragedies from firsthand puts the importance of the matter of COVID-19 above many others. But this is an important issue that everyone should acknowledge as we are in a worldwide pandemic. Continuing response to COVID-19 and its variants are the biggest complexity our state faces right now. Why, though? It does not need to be such a big problem. Everyone acts like the pandemic is over, but when we least know it, another variant, Delta, comes around, and then we go back into another peak. Now, with flu season and cold temperatures around the corner, it is not time to relax, but instead time to become even more cautious towards the transmission of COVID so that we may prevent another peak. The response to COVID-19 is such a big issue for our community, when it doesn't need to be. A solution to the pandemic is very accessible to us, and people still choose to ignore it. It is scientifically proven that vaccination has a 94% effectiveness. The problem is that people make vaccination something religious or political when it is not at all. Numerous studies prove that the vaccine is effective, and if everyone would take part in the situation and simply get vaccinated, that would be a simple solution to the problem. A criticism of my solution could be either political or religious. For example, in the Catholic Church, there are many people who are against the vaccine, regardless of the scientific studies that prove it works. And this is not even because of Catholicism itself, because even the Pope got vaccinated and promoted it. But since this also correlates with being conservatives, these people believe that vaccines are only for Democrats, and this forms a big controversy against the vaccine. Anti-vaxxers have so many false claims, like that the government is trying to trick us into getting the vaccine, or that a microchip is going to be put into our bodies, and so many more strange theories. I would respond to such criticism as I do actually to a friend who is the example I just noted. I respect everyone's political and spiritual views, as it is important to be respectful of others' beliefs and avoid extremes of claiming they're wrong or anything. But simply, I would have them actually read the facts in the studies so that they may understand that science should not be clashing with politics or religion. As evidence, I am going to reference an article from the New England Journal of Medicine which demonstrates the effectiveness of the two-dose mRNA vaccines, Pfizer and Moderna. In this study, the sample consisted of 3,975 healthcare personnel who completed weekly PCR COVID-19 tests for 4 months. COVID was detected in 204 participants. 5 were fully vaccinated, 11 were partially vaccinated, and 156 were unvaccinated. This clearly demonstrates that the effectiveness of full vaccination is 91%, and these fully vaccinated participants also had a 40% lower viral load than the others, as well as less symptoms and recuperation in very few days. Placing the stats right in front of these people in order to educate them, instead of forcing them to get a vaccine just to comply with the nation's political leaders, is a solution which is achieved through understanding and acknowledgement of the truths. That way, they will hopefully open their eyes to the light of science and the solution to end this pandemic.